Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Tonight we're playing Runestrike. Returning to Old Faithful and playing some more Runestrike because there were some comments on recent YouTube videos, which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to check out live Runestrike, check out my live Twitch stream over at RTChompGG, or if you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to check out the YouTube videos. But there were some comments about possibly running some Faith decks because I've been doing I don't want to say a series, but I've been revisiting a lot of decks that I had played in the past, namely just trying to update all of them for the new cards, the new metas. And since there have been a lot of changes since I touched some of these decks, there's been a lot of things to try and explore. Now, in this particular case, I don't know how well we're going to do. I don't know how well we're going to do with this particular challenge because on my own personal, internal, we'll say, tier list, Faith is bottom tier. And when I say bottom tier, I mean verging on unplayable. Now, in the context of Runestrike, it's difficult to call anything unplayable because there are such powerful cards, there are such powerful strategies. We're going to talk a little bit about this deck and what we're trying to do here. So the idea is actually revisiting the Fun Police strategy. What is Fun Police? Well, we talked about it in the context of a number of different decks. Keeper is probably the most well-known and even more recent because the infamous Dr. Traffic has been playing it on ladder actually in this season and having some decent success. The idea is that you only have 5 lanes and you box your opponent in by locking down their lanes and making it difficult for them to advance threats. Now, the advantage that Faith has, aside from the fact that there's a number of cards that help lock down your opposing lanes, such as the old standby of Ethereal Chains and now the updated Mass Incapacitate, but you also have the ability to punch with your champion for enormous amounts of damage comparatively. Like getting to 7, 8, 9 attack isn't actually that difficult or unheard of with this particular build. In addition, she offers a pseudo heal in Light's Blessing or A2, which allows you to try and elongate some of these games. Now, it has to be supplemented by things like Brawler's Shield. And to be honest, this particular list, I'm not sure I'm sold on the exact 24. There's a number of cards in here that have been not really pulling their weight, but we're still going through the iterations. This is still an early version, and honestly, it's just kind of a meme. We'll see how we do. All right, so we're up against Salin here, who's also another potential Fun Police opponent. We're going to keep the Tribal Elder. It's a card I want to try and force more to see if it actually belongs in here. It was included in order to try and facilitate earlier variations of this build, and I don't know if I really like it. The earlier variations were running 10 costs, such as Janus, Divine Intervention, that sort of thing. I don't know if it really makes sense in this version. Need to move face? Yep. Thank you. I knew I'd forget. Where are you? There we go. Let's get that back. There we go. Thank you, chat. So this is another card that I thought was going to do a lot of work for me, but ultimately has not. The reason being is the earlier iterations had retreat in it until I actually got into it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll Cave Raider and then I'll just retreat it a bunch of times and spam out statues and lock them down. And then after a game, I'm like, oh yeah, you, funny story, you can't retreat this guy anymore. Whoops. Opponent only has 4 lanes, just keep the face there to block 1. Fair. That would be awesome if we could do that. Just put the camera out there, preemptively block a lane. It would be awesome. All right, so our opponent's seemingly going for roughly the same strategy. The problem we're going to have is we don't have great targeted removal, which I think is an advantage that Keeper has. There's Curse of Narcissus, but between Curse and Flesh to Soil, you can roughly compare them to Ethereal Chains and Mass Incapacitate, but not quite. Not quite. All right, this is going to be obnoxious. It's not the end of the world, but it's kind of obnoxious. What are you doing? Oh, you playing that. Okay, fair. So you went for Firestorm? Yes, they did. They went for the Burning Sands one, and that's fine. Let's see. So they ended up getting a god off of this because of this. It is what it is. It's interesting that they hit their own thing with this, that they wanted that immediately so badly that they went to those lengths. We're going to play the Lion. We do need to supplement our hero punching with other damage. We can't just get there alone. All right, that's problematic. That's actually a problem. I'm tempted to just kill this thing, to be honest. I'm not even joking. I don't really want to, but it's going to end up killing some stuff anyway. We'll put you here temporarily. Do this. I think we let this grow for now, on the assumption that we'll mass incapacitate it later. Our opponent could do stuff to off it. And obviously with the beacon on the Lion, that's kind of concerning, but we'll see. We'll see. I anticipate most people are going to be like, what? Ooh, that's actually pretty memey. That's a pretty good meme. That's a strong meme. So we can mass incapacitate it. If we don't, they're just going to pop it this turn. So, like, we do this just to set it back. And we'll do... like, I guess we put it here. As ridiculous as it is, sometimes I just want to prevent the damage here. We'll get one attack. No, we won't get an attack. We're just going to block. So we're not going to get an attack because, assuming they killed it, they could either kill it of their own volition, or they're probably going to give it the resurrect thing. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This is going to tag us for... wow, we got Bridget also. That's weird. So I kind of think we do this turn. The reason being is that we otherwise can't advance our board. It sucks to sink that much blood in. But I mean, what option do we have? We'll do this. Blows up our board. Womp womp. I think we get an angel online. Or do we do the Banshee? If we play Banshee, it feels... well, maybe we do this. We do this. And we Banshee. Here. So we're putting it here in order to... so they're going to want to play something here, right? Probably the Lion. And then we'll... I was going to say we'll Ethereal Change the Lion, but we're going to Ethereal Change that, probably. We could actually kill it. So this is one of our few single target removal cards. That'll only put it at 6 attack. That's unfortunate. I don't really want to chains it. We might have to. Oh no! I knew I was going to do that eventually. For some reason in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, we have shield. We don't actually have shield yet. So we did literally 0. Wait, this stuns? Okay, so we stun this thing. You can tell how many times I played the deck. It's very much conceptual at this stage. So this will continue stunning it, I guess. They're going to get this next turn. We can't get rid of this. I don't think there's any way for us to remove it. Actually, wait. Can we do it right now with Bridget? As I'm saying, we can't do it. What do you have? Mustering Grounds, Burning Sands. Yeah, I guess we just do this. And then this. And then this. They just healed off of something. What did they heal off of? I like how a random god was actually super relevant. Yeah, how weird is that? I mean, there's a lot that we could have gotten that could have been relevant, but this specific one, in this specific scenario, like, it was oddly relevant. Oddly relevant. So the unfortunate thing here is this will kill this and then die on the counterattack at some point. It's a little sad face, but what are you going to do? We can chains one of the follow-ups, so I guess that's fine. 8 attack is probably good enough. And we do have another angel to block. Like, we can play our angel in front of theirs. Sanctuary is actually a card that I think belongs in this deck. I just don't have one. So they have a lion in hand, and they will have an angel shortly. So here's the turn that I said we're going to kill this thing, and then we're not going to be able to deal with it on the counterattack. Because now it'll actually get through. What are you going to do? So we found a second shield bash to make up for the screwed up shield bash that we did earlier. So we can do this. We can do this. And then we do this. So we have a fresh angel online. We have a chains to... So if they play something super powerful, we just lock it down, right? We go... This is a little concerning, I'm not gonna lie. We're 24. We could do this. We take 1, 2, 6, 10, go to 14, and then we shield up next turn. And we probably have to chains this guy, right? This matchup is some of the most flying I've seen in a Runestrike game. This is how I imagine Flight plays out. I think you're right. Like, that seems reasonable. Alright, so maybe... Yeah, we probably have... No, we can block with this. So we kill them in 2 turns. Well, we kill them this turn, actually. Because the angel will die. They could have another angel to buy another turn, but we're going to punch them for 9, so... Ooh, clever play. Good plays, good plays. So we're just going to Brawler Shield, right? I don't think we chains anything. This is going to die. I mean, we could chains here, but I don't know that that matters. I guess it kind of does. We're going to hit for 9. Like, I actually want them to kill our angel. We could chains it afterwards, because we don't want to kill their angel and let them heal, which is what would happen. So if we chain it, then it'll be a 2, and then it'll die, and they'll heal and go to 12. As it is right now, they should die just from... What did they do? Berserk? Okay. That's problematic. But GG. We still get there. We still get there. So 1-0, chat. 1-0. Ladder, and then I ran up against somebody who's playing something like this. I'm like, oh, I forgot I wanted to build that deck, because I've talked about it a lot. This particular Fun Police version. Even with the original versions of Mass Incapacitate. To be honest, we might want this in the deck. I'm not sure. So I'm going to try and go Cave Raider into an accelerated Tribal Elder. I've been seeing a lot of Cave Raiders lately, too. Now, this is actually a problem, because I forgot about Soul Amulet for a second. That may cost us the game there, chat. We'll see. Actually, our Mass Incapacitate's going to be kind of funny. So our opponent still has a better clock right now, because they have 7 that's getting through. Versus our only 5. But we'll be able to set some stuff up. We're going to get Banshee online. And what's funny is if they power it down, that we're still going to stun it. Okay, not if they stun it with a Gorgon, though. I mean, that'll get us, yes. Womp wah. So they could have, like, their own conditionings or something. How did this get an extra attack back? Shouldn't that be at only one attack? Because we hit this with the Mass Incapacitate. That should be a one attack, right? I mean, obviously not. But I was busy talking instead of figuring out, like, what... why these things were working the way they were. So these cost 9 now, which is obnoxious. I'm not really worried about the damage incoming, though. For the most part. We have double Angel. They now have full lanes. Well, they have that. So that's somewhat of an issue. That could be a problem there. Methinks that's trouble. If they have yet another dimensional rift, we could be in trouble. As if on cue. So we're at 29. Now we're in kind of a big hole. I don't know how they cleanly deal with the Angel at this stage, though. Like, they shouldn't be able to, he said, hopefully. This doesn't really matter. We want to be able to shield bash, so we need 3 mana, so we can do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite enough. 6. We need to get these 2 this turn, I think. So we do this. We bash. We do this. Like, the Elder would have been nice to get online, but I don't think there was any way we were doing that. Odin's not great. Odin could be an issue. You? Do we bash the Odin? We might bash the Odin. That's not enough to kill it. Never mind, we're not going to bash the Odin. Oh, boy. So we take 2, 4... If they have a way to remove this... 4, 8, we'd wipe out all our shield. I think we have to risk dying here. Which means we might have been better off playing it one of the Angels. Oh, we're dead. GG. Oh, we're not dead. Wow. I just kind of assumed they had it. They played both dimensional rifts, so the lion will keep us alive, but we don't really have enough blood to continue shielding. We actually should have chained this guy, I think. So we bash this, I think, and the reason being is we need to ensure that the Nile Princess survives. Not that it's likely to die, but it's possible they could have A3'd plus hit it. We maintain some of our shield, but not a lot. Yeah, that's not good. That's actually real bad. Let's see. So our chains plan is not fantastic at the moment. I think we have to A3 again. So we chain here. Shield. Go to 21. Hey, CBG, what's good? How you doing? That was some bad ordering. Oh boy. Not good. They're 13. So if we chain something, we take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. We chain this, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 is 15. So we have to do something like this, and it still might not be enough. Alternatively, if we hit them for 8, this won't be lethal. Like, we can't just drop this in front of something, but they don't have... If they have, like, a mana burn, we're dead no matter what, right? You didn't know I was playing on streaming? Yeah, Monday's a normal night for me. Angel's like chain plus gaining life, all you care is about one turn. Exactly. Exactly. GG! We get there! Fun police. Strike again. So, after playing a couple games, we're 2-0 right now. We played against Salin, and we played against Sakara. Now, Sakara feels like it should be a much worse matchup because of A2. So, a number of our effects, namely Mass Incapacitate, Ethereal Chains. I mean, we also got punished by an early Cave Raider play. A2 just makes you cry, kind of, or could. Odds are they're jumping, I mean, they are jumping up the curve. So odds are whatever they're getting is not good for you. And clearly it turns things off like this or this. Now, we were able to squeak through just by hitting enough of our stuff, basically. And then the first game, we made a super egregious misplay, which I did all the time when I was first got Faith and started playing her. And that's I shield bashed before I sequenced the shield. So I needed shield in order... I mean, you can play shield bash legally, but it does 0, so it seems pointless. The Tribal Elders are still on my maybe cut list. Everything else, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Cave Raider, but it kind of fits. It helps slow your opponent down to a degree, but I don't know that it's actually doing anything. This is slowly morphing into a more general control deck, and I think that's fine. I would love to fit another Angel. It definitely feels like, while the chains function as our targeted removal, it still feels as though sometimes they're just, oh my god, that's a dangerous thing. How are we going to deal with that? We don't have a great plethora of actual removal cards, and to be honest, I really hate Nile Princess, but we need the Blood Generation. Maybe Banshee doesn't make the final cut in the deck. Notably, I'm mulliganing the Shield Bash, which you would think you would want against what's hypothetically an aggressive deck in Brienne. But in this particular case, we don't plan on burning blood for this early on. So we're probably just not going to get to do it for a while. Both been playing Runestrike today? Yep. Banshee helps in some races, though. It absolutely does. And the reason it's there is because, like I said, the original incarnation of this deck, or at least the way I envisioned it was going to be Fun Police. So I was going to try and lock people down with Banshee, or Banshee is part of it. Even if Mass Incapacitate doesn't reduce their attack to 0, it reduces it to 1, and Banshee has 5 health, so it can last a while. This is problematic. These have been showing up everywhere, and I can kind of appreciate them. I don't really like them. I think they probably are very crippling in specific matchups. Because, like, that's a cute play, what our opponent just did. But I don't know, even against this, I feel like you'd want to wait. I'm not going to remove it, most likely. So, are you removing it? Obviously they are, and I don't know if that's really worth it. So I think this is worth incapacitating. It also helps preserve our Nile Princess. We'll get this on the board because we can. But yeah, I like the Banshee in this because this is an odd build in that it does allow you to do some cute things with... What? We're doing pretty good on the random gods today. I mean, maybe this one won't matter. We'll see. She costs 8. 8 is a lot. I think we Banshee. Can we do that? But yeah, this is a weird build because it actually is advantageous to have the flyers. You just care that they body block and they push face damage, because past a certain point, you just need to go kill your opponent. This deck is odd because it's like fun police that pivots into control when they run away from it. I think it's like it feels very much as though it's just simply a control deck. And that's kind of what it boils down to. So do we play Minerva and kill this? I feel like we need to kill this. We could instead shield and do it that way. Or we could Minerva. Actually, if we do it here... No, we won't kill that then, because we won't get through. We're going to do this for now. We have some time. I don't feel the need to rush. I want to remove that, though. Like, maybe we do need to rush in order to kill this thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being over-anxious about trying to set up a Minerva play or something. Like, I don't know if this is better, the board state we have now. Making these 5s instead of 8s, because now a, well, that'll kill them, but I was going to say a Meteor Storm kills them. So we now have 8 attack. Minerva would boost your opponent more than for you, I think, right now. If they didn't have set, that's possible. If they didn't have set, that's possible. I'm not sure. We have double Brawler Shield, so I don't feel compelled to do this yet. I don't know that we need to go to 9 attack, though. I think we're going to do this here. We can't do all of that. We have 1 Shield Bash left? No, we use the other Shield Bash, right? Yeah, we use both Shield Bashes. So this is just life gain at this point. We don't have anything else in the deck that cares about our life or shield count, other than, you know, we want our life total high. So we're effectively at 64 right now. They burn set, so the only other sweeper that would clear their own board is, oh, we actually just prevented ourselves from playing Angels. Whoops. I feel like Brienne has been a big player today when it gets like 10 of them. There's a lot of Brienne running around. There's a lot of Brienne running around. So yeah, we locked ourselves out of Angel, which was a mistake, obviously. We could still play it with, what's it called? Tribal Elder. Oh, that's not good. Beckon is such a good anti-berry card. So we're not out of it yet, now that we decrease the costs here. We're in trouble, but we're not out of it. Oh my god, do you have another way to kill it? I mean, you can get it next turn. Oh, man, come on. That is brutal. Our opponent being a savage here. I mean, they did play the Chosen One, so maybe one of the Beckons is probably main decked. The other one was probably off of the... what's it called? We do... How many cards do we have left? We have 2. So we don't really want to do this. Well, I guess we could. Prevents damage. It'll prevent more damage. We do this. Well, actually, we definitely want to do that first. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. They're at 16. Wait, why did our angel die? What did they do? I didn't realize they drew so many cards. What did they do to our angel? Did they activate their blood ability and I didn't see it? Like, they're A2? Trial by fire. I was about to say, you have to have angel. There's no other card that matters. So we're going to take 1 damage and go to 8. Oh yeah, we would have gotten them with void damage anyway. GG. A lot of the games come down to this, where it's just a single turn difference. I don't know if this is the same Sakara from earlier. We're just mulliganing for early game. I'm okay with the Mass Incapacitate, because it's a board clear, sort of. If they come out with a really explosive start out of the gates, it gives us something to do before, you know, it's too late, essentially. But we top deck a Conditioning on turn 3. Now that feels good, chat. That feels good. The on-curve Twilight's Grace. Remember when this was 4 blood? We're going to try and get Banshee online. I kind of anticipate it's never going to connect. What I think we do next turn is we Shield Bash her. There's a risk here that our opponent buffs it somehow. I can't think of a buff out of order that's going to matter. Now, alternatively, we could Incapacitate, but I think we just get this thing off the board and save the Incapacitate. The Incapacitate is kind of our get-out-of-jail-free against bigger stuff to a degree. Obviously, the big thing stays on the board, so if it has a rally or something, or a recover, we're in trouble. That's a Malediction. Gotta go, but I'll be back in a bit. Alright, Braxman, no problem. We got stunned there. That's actually kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. By the Malediction. Whoop. So this now shows... This must have been changed in the patches. I'm like 99% sure that this did not show the curse that was chosen. I wonder if Ifrit now shows you as well. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to all the conjures of any kind showing up and the game telling your opponent what was chosen. Because I think, to an extent, it's... that sucks. To an extent, it's like, oh, I got blown out by something that there's just literally no way I could have seen that coming, kind of thing. And that's a feels bad moment. So we could shrink this. I think we wait. This is just a body now. She doesn't matter as far as her effect. I guess they could bounce it somehow. Maybe we wanted to, because if we play Angel, Angel's gonna get Dimensional Rifted. Like, let's face it, that's gonna happen. You got me. I have bad news for you, though, friend. I have bad news for you. If we can get the blood generator online, I will do this. For now, we're going to bank the blood. I could be doing the math. Oh, that's bad news for us. I mean, we have the second one, but still not good. I guess that was just they misclicked. They must have misclicked that one. That doesn't make any sense otherwise. We do this. I almost don't want to kill this. I almost don't want to kill it. Guess we'll do this. We do need to basically sink all of our blood into shields from here on out in order to make sure we survive. A second Inspire, wow. We would have gotten blown out if we didn't have that other Mass Incapacitate. So Lion, I expect, will get rifted. They did play... No, they played both rifts, I think. I think they played both rifts on the Banshee. That's unfortunate, though. Double Cull the Weak. That's bold. Alright, we may be staring down our first loss, chap. Because I don't see how we get out of this. We probably should have killed the this thing earlier. That's 6, 10, 14, 17. Oh, this is lethal. This is lethal anyway. So, obviously, Inspire is a counter to Mass Incapacitate. We also might have been a little too cute on some of these turns. This is where I really wish that there was a replay feature in Runestrike. Now, to be honest, this game was relatively close. Like, we're going to get blown out here. But them being under 30... You know, we were 1 blood away from getting shield. We could have played another Angel next turn, so we would have gained, what, like 12? We might have been okay. Most likely not, but possible. Possible. The Noble's idea seems interesting to me. Again, we're getting rid of the shield bash because we're not going to shield early on, and conditioning's clearly something we keep. Because the 7-cost Noble that protects your other Nobles seems like it could be a strong play, but the deck just feels very fair. Like, it feels super fair. I saw that earlier today, Atona. It was a rare good news in modern times. It was definitely a positive. I can say that. This is looking kind of messy. So, I actually like Hired Steel as an aggro card, even outside of Soldiers. The body is just really good. And more aggro stuff should play it. This is actually a cool board now that I look at it and feel... Whoa, there's a skull over here. Just like... I thought it was clickable, but like, it pops up out of the water and then sinks. That's kind of cool. Wow, this person is doing a lot of stuff that I wanted to try. What do we do next turn? Turn 6. We're gonna probably have to play this. So alternatively, we do this. Because next turn we'll conditioning and Oracle the chump block, I guess. We'll have to see. So, Legacy Tree is very interesting here. So do we play the Princess? Maybe we get the Princess online. I'm not sure how they deal with the Princess. So I kind of want to hold on to the Lion because this could hypothetically have a combo-y finish at the top. And by that I mean, say it's like the hibernating thing at 10, or just Minotaur plainly, or whatever. And then we might run into issues. Because if we don't have a way to remove the thing completely that turn, we could be in trouble. So I think we're setting stuff like this up. We're still okay on blood count, I think. Like, as long as they don't remove this turn, we should be fine. AKA, we'll be able to get shields back online. Hopefully, anyway. I mean, it's possible that they end up... You know, this... Oh, there you go. So now it dies, and now we're in trouble. Because we lost out on our blood, we lost out on a number of things here. So we're going to do... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do this here. Do this here. So they could have an Annihilate and just blow us out. They could have an Annihilate and just blow us out. Feast or Famine's interesting. Like, we might have to change this just to make sure we don't lose anything. Or we could do this. We go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You go here. We do this. So we can just crack this for 8, but that's pointless. We're not pushing damage with it, which is unfortunate, and these things are going to do a number on it. They could kill it if they want to. Like, they just A3 something. Or that. That does it too. Like, notably, this deck is not running Decimate, which it possibly should, but again, it was originally on the Fun Police idea, so I didn't want to kill their stuff. We just had Shield Bashes for pinpoint removal. Alright, so that has a 1 on it. So we could Banshee instead. I think we'd rather get the Angel online. The Banshee can fit in on a later turn, and the Angel's a threat. Although Banshee here might have been good because this thing can't punch it without help. Obviously, they're going to have help. They have their blood abilities. They could have Gigantify. They could just have Arbitrary Burn. Another Meteor Storm. Or Twister, for that matter. I keep mixing up whether it's Meteor Storm or Meteor Strike, but it's Meteor Storm. I don't think they can combo finish us. Like, if they were to... They'd have to Berserk plus 3 boosts, and they might not even get there then. GG, we get it. So I actually like the idea of this. The problem is, I don't know that you want Turtle in that deck. I don't know. Alright, what do we got? The Mirror. Possibly. We actually... We're going to get rid of the shield. I don't know if getting rid of the shield is a good idea. The only way this hand gets better, as far as tools we wanted, and it's funny, we got that back, is if we found an early conditioning. Which we're going to dig for with this. We did not find it. Because if we were able to find the conditioning, we can play it on curve, which is still good. So this is another card that we're not running, which maybe we should, but I don't have a way to actually get value out of it in this, because we're not running Cling to Life either. Oracle on 2 is pretty good. It seems okay. It seems okay. We're going to be able to play a Tribal Elder on curve with a very stacked hand. Maybe not stacked, but a thick hand, we'll say. We do that, it's going to reduce it to 1. We're going to just block. So notably, they chose not to A1. That's interesting. I'm curious why they did that. These things are not an enormous clock. You know, we could have blocked here. Alright, so the Nile Princess is going to go here. Because then they can't reasonably interact with it. The Princess, even though I said earlier I'm not a huge fan of it, it definitely has its uses. I don't know. I have I'm trying to mix multiple statements and screwing it up. Wow, that's double conditioning. That's a problem. That is a problem. So we're going to be behind on attack, even though we're generating more blood. Yeah, it would seem pretty good right now. It would seem pretty good right now. I already forgot all, like, the 3 other thoughts that I was trying to get out and then kind of congealed together and didn't actually accomplish any of them. We're in a pretty bad spot here, chat. I'm not going to lie. We're in a pretty rough spot. Now, we have double Brawler Shield right now. We don't know. We don't have any idea what our opponent has. They've given no indication. I can't really guess as to whether... they probably have Brawler Shield, like, in general, but... I think his line was premature and unnecessary. I kind of agree. I think the reason it got played is to try and... Oh, this is real good right now, chat. This is real good right now. I think the Lion was played in order to try and... to try and pressure us. You know, they felt they had an advantage, so they're going to try and press it. We're going to prevent some damage. So they're going to get a fresh Pegasus. Hopefully they have no way to deal with this, because if we can connect for a couple turns with Banshee, we take the game over. You have a blessed bond. Okay. And a miracle. Well, I have news for you, friend. That guy is never going to die. I'm never killing that. I want to play the conditioning. But can we wait? We can probably wait. I think getting this online is probably more important. And then we just do this. So they are at 4 blood. Presumably, if they had the removal, they would have killed the Banshee already. So I think what they're waiting on is just to get Sword of Judgment online. Which, sure. Game where you play 4 lions? Now you sound like CBG. I mean, CBG has been hell-bent on getting as many mirrors into play as they can, which it sounded like 9 was the record. Which is bonkers when you think about it, but... Probably another angel. We'll do this. Mana is going to be tighter than blood probably towards the end of the game. Although maybe we hold on to it because then we can angel. We can't play anything else but that and angel, so that maybe was a mistake. But no, I don't remember this quad lion game. Double Balder. That's pretty savage. Hilarious. Ridiculous, even. We can bank some of the blood right now. We're in no way threatened. Wait, what did our opponent do with their blood? Oh no, they convictioned? Porqué? I didn't notice they did that. I think they didn't look at what their blood ability did. Alright, so that's 8, 11... Yeah, they're dead. GG. Up against Sakara again. I think this is a rematch from earlier. We'll keep a cool-looking Tribal Elder. Again, I don't know that we actually want to play Tribal Elder, but we're trying to force it. Trying to force it. We're on the draw this game. We'll power out the Oracle. The Cave Raider is kind of a liability here. Actually, we could play the Cave Raider in front of the Prince of Rags just as a body. Like, we do this. We don't have to play the Oracle. Maybe playing the Oracle just to power it out so we could find a conditioning would have been good. Let's see. So we're chump blocking to try and stave off a little bit of damage, and I don't know if that's the right play. It might be better, I mean, obviously we got blown out here. Well, not blowout, but we got clobbered here. It might have been better to just play them in open lanes to push a little bit of damage, but I'm not sure. Block here, it doesn't really matter. Block. Block here. Because we would love to set up their board to lock it down, but if this is the same person as earlier, we know that they have access to Inspire, which would raise some issues for us. Which one is dangerous? Is it this one? That one's lethal. We do this here. This is still a very threatening board, especially if they have the follow-up Inspire, because they do it here, and then this gets buffed, this gets buffed. They don't have it, which is interesting. Okay. So they could Rift and Inspire. So we want to try and set up a little bit more. Maybe we needed to get the Lion online now and just go, okay, well, if they have Rift, they have it. There's the Inspire. The Rift is the big deal. We're going to take a bunch of damage here, but we could Lion out of it. Sakara should, on paper, be a bad matchup. Like, I just don't see how Sakara is a good matchup for us. We can Shield Bash for 6. Not that I really want to protect the Elder, but it allows us to, you know, we got to block one, remove the other. Bottom line. So we're pretty far behind. We are pretty far behind. And obviously, you know, A1 means that the Lion was never actually going to do much of anything. We have to try and advance stuff rather than not lose, although advancing and conditioning would be advancing. But we can't respond to everything they're doing. We have to, at some point, try and push. Now, the Lion's dead here because this is going to do 4, this will do 7. That's before this even comes into play. So they rifted their Kraken. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. But they're not going to, they'll be able to play it here. Which is a pretty good spot for it. It's a pretty solid spot. I think we have to Angel. The problem is we don't have our 8-9 attack game here. Oh no, Odin on the Kraken? Oh no. That's no bueno. That seems bad. Alright, let's see. You here. You here. So what we could do is kill this. I mean, we could kill Odin also. I don't know how we're dealing with the Kraken. I guess we're going to have to try and do a another A3. This helps us generate more blood. Oh, that's really bad. We absolutely need a chains here. Even if we had the chains, I don't know if that's good enough, though. To be honest. So we gotta do this. We do this. You do this to chump block. We're stunning it. Like, that's the reason that's happening. We're obviously not killing it. But it buys a turn. We're at 29, though. I don't think we can push enough damage for this to matter. Plus, they can continue powering down the Angel. Well, the Angel's dead this turn, so they don't need to power it down. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's a big boy. Oh, no. Not like it matters. Because, like, a bunch of them are dead anyway. That's 19. We're dead. 19, 21, 2, 23, 24, 28. We can do this, but there's a lot of ways that we just die. You know, like a rift probably kills us. I don't know if that's actually lethal. It is. GG. Alright, so Sakara is a bad matchup. Just fixing my spreadsheet. We want that. I think, yeah, it's DT. What are you playing? You're playing Dawn. I didn't recognize how Dawn looked there. Alright, so we're on the play. I'm updating the spreadsheet as we're playing this time, so I don't have to go back and look. I like Dawn. I think I need to spend more time working on that deck, because I think there's something there. Notably, she has ways to get out of our lockdown as well in the form of A2. It's not super efficient compared to, you know, the Sakara plays, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, I don't hate the Tribal Elders. They're not great, but they're not awful. I think a lot of our late game would be exceptionally awkward. Oh, that's cute. Uldra in this deck kind of makes sense. I like that. I like it. Jacko's somewhat problematic. Jacko's a little problematic. That'll keep this, well, maybe not under control, but it'll help. Maybe we should have played in another lane, because it locks up a lane that they can't eclipse on. Because this is actually going to get big enough to kill this, so this was a mistake. This was a mistake. We should have just played this in an open lane, because now DT could possibly... Well, he's going to play one, but he could have played 2 minions, hypothetically. Uldra seems good in this deck, and it seems fair as compared... Oh my god. Well then, about that. So we have a bunch of problems going on here. I think we gotta kill this guy out of hand. We basically have 3 things we gotta deal with, and we only have a single removal spell at the moment. Like, Decimate probably has to go in this deck. I think this deck really does morph into plain Faith control. Because there's a number of games where if we just had a... If we had a Decimate, like this one, if we had Decimate, we'd be in a significantly better position than we are now. So we might have to kill this. By might, I mean I think we do. Maybe we needed to kill this, to be honest. I'm not sure. This gets the biggest power decrease. Like, look at this. We're at, what, 44 right now? We're getting clobbered. Now, this is something that I would expect would perform well against us. It's not a direct counter to all of our stuff in the form of a blood ability, as obviously as Sakara is. But here, the problem is you don't... because of this particular build, we don't have a lot of clean ways to deal with stuff. We've just hit every pumpkin bomb, haven't we? I don't think we can close this gap, to be honest. We're getting pumpkin bombed left and right. Although, admittedly, there might only be one left, if there are any left, aside from the one we're getting this turn. That seems not good for us. I mean, we could have removed this sooner, so part of that's on me. But we didn't have a great many opportunities. 7-11. We have straight up no way to remove this now. And this is big enough that it's going to live through everything. What did they do to buff it besides Eclipse? Oh yeah, Blessed Bond. I'm not a huge fan of Blessed Bond, but I'm coming around to it. Okay, the game's over now. The game is most certainly over now. So this, again, in the Fun Police concept, I think we're just at an enormous disadvantage, right? Like, there's not a whole lot we can do. I'm not even sure we live. 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. No, that's Exaxes. Oh, Divine Intervention gets us anyway. Like, as the Fun Police concept, I think we lose. GG, DT. Alright, so we're up against Morlich. Keep the Cave Raider, I guess. So, playing the Cave Raider, speaking of errors last game, like, the Cave Raider in front of the Huldra was a mistake, because I wasn't paying attention to the blood count. The A3 was absolutely going to be online, so that was definitely a mistake. And it would have just closed off a lane that couldn't have been filled with a body then. But I don't know that it matters, because I think things were just getting too big. We need to make sure that we hit our single target removal and get stuff off the board right away. That's another reason I think this deck becomes a control deck, not a... What's funny is they may hit this instead of this. Like, I think it becomes a control deck instead of a Fun Police deck. I don't know that the tools are quite there for Fun Police. It feels very close. It feels very close. But some of the cards feel just a little too janky, where you're doing cute things to avoid killing stuff, to lock them on the board, and you'd rather just be like, or I could just kill that thing. The Norns. You know, like, I could replace some of these things with Phalanx Guards, Centaurians, Decimate, other targeted removal. There's a variety of different things, and it would probably be better off. Of course it hit that one. It doesn't... I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter that much. We're just trying to wait as long as we can in order to mass incapacitate. Maybe we need to get this thing off the board, so that way we can start playing actual minions. That's probably a better idea. Just get this thing gone, and then we don't have to worry about it, because I assume our opponent is solely shadow minions. That's annoying, because we're going to lose all our shield, but okay. It takes up a slot, so they can obviously kill their own stuff with Unholy Sacrifice, and it's just interesting in general that they've been using Reanimate, so I expect the full suite of Plutos and Revenant Kings. That was the other thing I was going to say. So they could play a, what's it called? What the hell's the name of that card? The 4/2 Resurrect guy. I can't think of. So do we shield bash something? We probably should have blocked in a different fashion if we were going to bash this. So we'll Brawler, Shield, and Bash next turn. We'll see what the follow-up play is. They haven't drawn Pluto yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. It could be in hand. So yeah, again, a Decimate here or other board clear, like actual removal would be better than what we're doing, which is fine. Like, we're doing memes here. We're making memes happen. We just gotta hang on. We're at 38, 42. We're quote-unquote close, life total-wise, with our opponent, but obviously it's not going to be for very much longer. I think we've lost this one, which does not bode well for the concept for the deck in general, but I mean, like I said, memes. The memes. Does that even keep us alive? So that's 8. 6 is 14, 24. No, we're just dead. We had to block over here, but it wouldn't have mattered because they have too much damage. GG. Were we on the play or the draw that game? Alright, this should be an L. So this is the same Sakara opponent that we played multiple times already. They've demonstrated that they understand how the matchup works. Whoop. Just update my spreadsheet real quick. Sakara, Striker. Alright. They've demonstrated they understand how the matchup works. I know this does nothing because they're going to A1 it. It A, makes them A1 earlier. B, we don't have anything else to do with this because otherwise they're going to A2 the thing and jump the curve. Because this actually, the statue, the idol, is like a 4 cost. So it ends up being not good for us. We're going to play this off lane. They'll probably just play a body in front of it, but maybe pushing damage is a better idea. Like, blocking here would have accomplished nothing, right? I anticipate we're going to play this next turn. Now, as we learned in game 1 against this person, they are running Inspire to Arms. So even if we mass incapacitate something relevant, there's the Inspire. So we are able to play it post-Inspire. But these things are all still very threatening. Like, look at these. There's still 3 attack. We should have done this first. But, you know. We're also giving them a lot of blood. Maybe not a lot, but we're giving them blood. That's not good. So we power this down in order to keep our princess alive, but we end up taking more damage. I think we need to do this. I'm not sure. Now, we do have the ability to A3. Yeah, so they have double Inspire again. I don't know if there's anything we can do about that opener with our current build. So they have no more Inspires, though. They have no more Inspires. You're both just 5s, right? The only reason it matters is for this. I think we actually get this online. This goes back to what I was saying a couple games ago, where we have to try to push our win condition. We can't sit back and... Oh, good lord. Torment. How good is that right now? I mean, how good is that in general? Like, we can't sit back because we're on the back foot. We will lose. We need to make something happen. Torment is pretty good in this scenario. Oh, no. I think this is an L, chat. I think this is an L. What's arguably sadder is we're... Oh, we should have hit this. Well, these are going to get through. I think maybe we did have to do it this way with the chains. What's arguably sadder is the Torment will kill us through our armor. The Torment's going to kill us through our armor. So it doesn't matter that we have double Brawler Shield. Like, we're on a clock. We have, what, 4 turns? How much Suffer do we have? We have Suffer 3. Assuming they don't push any other damage. We got to do at least one of these. We probably have to Banshee to block. We need 5 turns. I don't think that's possible. We played 1 Angel of Hope, 1 Avenging Angel. Did we play both Angel of Hope? I don't think so. So we have like... are we dead? Might just be dead. Might just be dead. We're basically dead. GG. So this was still close, but it feels like it wasn't actually close. Okay, so we're talking about the Faith Fun Police deck that we just ran 10 games with. Now, this is iteration, I don't know, we'll say 1.3. I made some minor changes, but the general core of the deck is still the same. We're trying to emulate the Keeper Fun Police decks of old, Salin Fun Police decks, where we're leveraging ways to lock our opponent's board down and then push our damage through. So you'll notice we have a number of evasive minions in the form of several angels, as well as Banshee, which did play in a Faith Mirror game. It definitely made a difference. Additionally, we have Ethereal Chains and the newly updated Mass Incapacitate in order to try and Fun Police our opponent's board down. Now, the problem is we're not quite reducing things to 0 with this, although you can if you hit 2 of them. And we have a less efficient A3 for removal than Keeper. We're obviously making up for it with Conviction and life gain, we'll say, air quotes, with Light's Blessing, which are both a big deal. But over the course of 10 games, it kind of bore out the way I expected it to. We were able to beat Salin. We were able to beat a Sakara, but it was 1 out of 4 games, and we'll come back to that. We beat a Brienne, we beat an Ogma, we beat Faith, and we lost to Dawn and Morlich also. So we went 500. And most of those games are what I'd expect. The big issue was Sakara. So we actually played against the same opponent 3 times. The one time we played a Sakara that wasn't that opponent, we beat that person. The issue is Sakara's A2 invalidates a bunch of our removal. They have Dimensional Rift for super effective removal while being able to advance their clock against our angels. Additionally, A1 on Sakara means that they can invalidate our non-hero punches, so we don't have a way to try and claw it back. All of the games came down to 1 or 2 turns away, where if we had 1 or 2 more turns, we would have punched our opponent in the face and ended the game in our favor. It just never really got there. Again, we have awkward removal like Shield Bash, and notably, we're missing things like Decimate. Those were intentionally excluded, but realistically, I think the Fun Police concept may not quite be there. As I mentioned earlier, I've seen other versions with running like Janus as another power down card, and a few other tools. I wanted to try and go this way. I think you could change some of the things in this deck, improve it both as a Faith deck in general, just make it a control deck, versus trying this specific concept. And I think it could probably be improved even in this concept. But overall, I did have fun with the deck. We're going to try out some other Faith builds on stream tonight, which, by the way, if you're catching this on YouTube, feel free to come by to my live Twitch stream, RTChompGG, to see some live Runestrike games, deck building, and theory. But that'll do it for this particular deck breakdown. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.